Please excuse me, I just woke up. One of the side effects of being arrested is that you lose all of your stuff. And when I say all of your stuff, I mean like everything. Unless you have someone in your life that can take over for you, like all of your responsibilities and all of your material responsibilities and financial responsibilities, then you're going to lose everything that you have. And it doesn't even matter if you've been found guilty of anything yet. In the state of Nevada, at least, it takes them months to get you to your court date. So while you sit there for months, you are going to not be able to make payments on whatever it is that you have, your mortgage, your car payment, if you have credit cards to pay, if you have bills to pay, all of that stuff is going away. If you have loans that you're paying for, it's going to collections. Everything's gonna be gone. There's no place in county jail where they let you go deal with your mortgage or whatever. So when I got arrested, luckily I didn't have too much, and luckily I had my sister and my dad to take care of the few things that I did have. Thanks, Dad, for saving this guy. So in this Department of Corrections, you are basically guilty until proven guilty, and in the meantime, fuck your life. However, here on Smiles for Miles, we like to look at the bright side of everything. So one of the cool things about this happening, the loss of everything you have, is you get to reevaluate what's actually important in your life and what's actually bringing you happiness. And it turns out that your things are kind of a prison in and of themselves. When you're in prison, you don't have too much. You don't have too much at all. In county jail, you really have nothing. And then in prison, you can start to accumulate stuff. As it so happens, the state offers very overpriced stuff that you can purchase from money that you get from family members. Surprise, surprise. So it is possible to accumulate stuff in there, but it's pretty limited. And when I was in prison, the thing that I pretty much accumulated the most of was books, because people were sending me books while I was in there. And that's one of the few things that's allowed as a gift that you can send in. But when I came out, I left most everything there. That's kind of the tradition. You want to leave as much as possible for the people who are still stuck there. So when I left camp to come on to the ankle monitor and come on to house arrest, I brought with me just the clothes that I was wearing and some shoes, old shoes, just so I wasn't leaving naked or barefoot, and then a handful of books and maybe some of my letters that I had gotten while I was in there. So now I've been out for about 8 months, and I came out with this mentality like, I don't need all this stuff. I want to keep things simple. I don't want to start to accumulate a bunch of extra stuff. I find that there's so much more freedom in having less now, I realize. But I've still managed to accumulate all of this extra stuff that is just sitting around and cluttering up my room now. So what I want to do today is to clear out and get rid of everything and get back to as minimal as possible. I just finished reading a book that was pretty inspirational to me, and I highly recommend it. It's called Goodbye Things by Fumio Sasaki. And that's kind of inspired me to just get it in gear and to get back to a streamlined simplification when it comes to my material possessions. So let's get started. All right, so let's just take quick stock here of where we're at. This is my space. I haven't prepared any of this. Basically, we got our light here, and this is all the stuff that I've sort of accumulated since I've gotten here. It's just crowding up the room, and I want to get rid of it. So since I have a roommate, I'm just going to be dealing with the stuff in this space. This is my space. Everything out there isn't up to just me. So today we're just going to be going through everything in here. All right, we're going to start here because this is where the most clutter and junk is, and it's also the space that's cluttering up my peace of mind, which is the real reason why we're doing this. So let's go. So these are all the letters and stuff that I got while I was in prison, and I was thinking I wanted to keep them, but you know what? It's just clutter. I don't think it's necessary. Check out the inmate ID. I think I'm just gonna throw that away too. I don't see why I need it, even though I'm still an inmate, technically. Can't forget to drink your green smoothie. Alright, so here is a tough one. This last Christmas, right after I got out of prison, my dad gave me and my sister this as a gift. And what it is a time capsule where he had saved a bunch of stuff from our childhood and collected it all into this box. And there's just all kinds of relics from our past. This is mine, my sister got one as well. So to throw this away is kind of hard because one, I feel guilty for throwing it away because he saved it, all this stuff forever, and then finally gave it to us so recently. And the other reason is because these are things that you can't go out and buy again. You know, you can't recollect this stuff. However, I think what is important about this is the moment that I received it in. It was so cool of my dad to do this. It was at such a perfect time in my life when I was having this reset as well. And it was so special because I was living at my sister's house. I had just gotten out and we had this Christmas together and my mom was there and everything, and we just opened this up and went through it, and it was like so nostalgic, and it was really brought us together. It was just a moment of real bonding and love, and it was phenomenal. So totally nailed it there, Dad, and I love you forever for giving me this stuff. And it was such a cool experience going through it. But at this point now, it's just stuff that's sitting in my closet taking up space. And just right now, I'm really focused on getting everything streamlined in my life because I'm trying to set myself up for bigger and better things. And this is just material objects at this point that's gonna be weighing me down. So I just wanted to take this moment to acknowledge how special it was to receive this stuff and how cool it is, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in the trash. You know, I feel like I should almost call him and be like, hey, do you want any of this stuff back? But that just puts delays on it and he doesn't need it, and so I'm sorry if this breaks your heart, Dad, but I love that you did this and it was so special, and I'll remember that moment forever. And I'll remember that moment with you receiving this and going through it together with Mom and Brittany. But I'm gonna have to toss it. Sorry. Love you. So just a quick follow-up note on this point. I don't like getting gifts. If there's something that I want badly enough, then I probably already have it. So if you're giving me something, it's by definition most likely something that I don't want. So I love your time and attention, and I love spending time with people, but I just don't want any stuff, okay? If you want something thrown away, then totally gift that to me. But otherwise, don't give me anything, because I don't want it. Here is a similar thing. When I was in county jail, my grandma died, and she had made this box of stuff that she wanted me to have from her house. It's just like this picture from me and my mom from my wedding, this little house thing with my baby picture in it, this clock, my grandpa's trophy that he won in 1986, which is the year I was born, that he wanted me to have for truck driving. He was a professional truck driver. He died years before my grandma did, and he wanted me to have this, but come on, like, I'm not keeping this, okay? I love him, I love my grandma, but I mean, I don't think that they're gonna care that I threw this away, because I mean, they're not alive anymore, so sorry, going in the trash. So here's another issue I'm having, the bed. So the reason that I got this thing is because I got the mattress for cheap from the auction house that I work at right now, and the bed frame and everything, and so I was like, oh, might as well have a full in here. But I never really wanted it. I just wanted like a little pad on the ground to sleep. I'd rather have the space in here to do yoga and stuff or whatever, like the production of the YouTube stuff. So I'm gonna get rid of this bed and sleep on my Z-Rest, for my backpacking Z-Rest, until I get a little pad or something. Alright, so we did it for now. Of course, I kept my desk and my music stuff and kind of the YouTube station. Got this little pad on the floor instead. And then the closet still needs a little work. I could still whittle away on some winter clothes and stuff, but it's a good start. Alright, good day. We got a lot done. I'm gonna have to do something about the audio in here now that there's nothing in here. It sounds really bad. One of the things I've recognized from just going through all this prison stuff and not having any stuff to speak of anymore, like I've mentioned before, I used to own a house, I used to have all the stuff, I used to, have everything all the time, and that, and I thought that having all those things would, it defined me somehow, it would make me feel more complete or more whole. And it's interesting because I feel more whole and complete these days than I have ever before in my life. So I think it's really important to recognize that the stuff that you have or the stuff that you hope to get doesn't define you and will not define you and will not bring that satisfaction that you're looking for ultimately. Far from feeling like my stuff defines me now, I feel like almost it's just in the way and it needs to be here for utility only. Because once all of that mess is cleared out, then you've got more room to start to figure out, what really matters to you and what life is really about, what we're really, where we can really find fulfillment. Check in on your relationship with your stuff and just realize that you are not your stuff. You are not defined by your stuff. There's more important things to be had in life than just stuff. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for checking in, you guys. I'm really going to have to fix this audio. So we'll see about doing that over the next couple days here. I'll check back in with you next week. Thanks for watching.